Hello and welcome back once again to After the Credits. So it's been a couple days, haven't really been feeling well, so I didn't really make it back to the theater for a couple days, but feeling better today, and I was actually awake today. I wasn't tired when I got home, so I went back over to the theater, and today we saw The Witch, or The Vitch, or The VVitch. I think it's The Witch. I don't know why I responded with two V's, but I've heard it called The Witch, so we're going to call it The Witch. So, what did I think of The Witch? This is another one of those movies that actually looked fairly decent in the previews, and I was hearing a lot of good things about it. And then I watched it, and yeah. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, based on what everyone was telling me how good it was and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, maybe it's actually going to turn out to be better than I thought. No. Usually when mass public likes a movie, I don't, and when I like a movie, the mass public says it's crap. And this is one of those cases. And it wasn't so much that it was a bad movie, as much as nothing happens in the movie. Really, we spend almost 2 hours, and there's nothing. Even where to begin to explain it. So we start out in this colonial times, I guess. There is a man on trial in a pilgrim settlement, and they're not really clear what he's on trial for. But then he makes some smart-ass remark to them, and they're like, you could just as easily be exiled, and he goes, well, maybe I will be, kind of thing, and they're like, if that's the punishment you see fit or something for your actions, then we will gladly abide by it. You're basically banished from the community. So he goes out, finds some land, builds a house, builds a barn, and like a storehouse and things. And it's him and his family. It's his wife, his eldest child is a daughter, his next child's a boy, then he has two twins, and then he has another younger baby boy. So they're all just kind of doing their thing around the farm, and the mother's caring for the baby, and then she passes it off to the elder daughter. She's like, well, I got some work I got to do. Can you take the baby? So that's the part you see in the preview where the daughter's playing peekaboo, and then the baby's gone. They searched for the baby for a couple days, and then they said, even if it wasn't killed by whatever took it, exposure and hunger would have taken it after 3 days. So they give up looking for it. Then the mother at that point is so racked with grief that she's inconsolable. She's just sits in her room crying all day and praying for the baby to be returned. And she blames her elder daughter for taking her eye off the baby because she was supposed to be caring for the baby. Then it cuts to, I guess, a witch. And the shot was kind of dark. I couldn't really, maybe it was just my theater, but I couldn't really tell what all was going on. I don't know if the witch actually sacrificed the baby, but she was like wiping blood all over herself and dancing in what little bit of light there was in the room. So I don't know if it was the baby's blood or, because it doesn't really say what I'm guessing she killed the baby because we don't ever hear about the baby again, or see the baby. Well, yes and no. So the mother's racked with grief, and the two twins, they're younger, so they're kind of annoying, and they're running around. And they keep picking on this one ram that they have on the farm. And the older daughter, is kind of like telling them to knock it off, and, they need to do their work and whatnot, and they just want to play. Then there's this weird bit where the eldest son, I guess, wants to sleep with his sister. It was like she's sleeping in the loft where he and his brothers and sisters are sleeping, and he gets up because he was going to go out and try and trap some food early in the morning, and he stops and he's like looking down her blouse because it's like untied and kind of hanging loose, but you can't really see anything. Then like later on, they're out by the water, like drawing water, and she's bent down, and you can like see the pressed up cleavage, what little bit there is, and he's just like staring at her, and she kind of catches him, and then he's just like looking down into the water, and she's like, "Why are you lingering so long?" And he's like, "Just leave me alone." So yeah, I don't know what that was all about. But yeah, so the eldest daughter's kind of dealing with the mother hating her, and the elder brother's trying to help out the father the best he can, like trapping food or whatever, even though the mother doesn't want him going off to do it because the other baby went missing. She doesn't want anything to happen to the rest of her children except for maybe her daughter because she blames her. So the eldest daughter and the brother go out to check the traps one morning, and something spooks the horse, and then the brother runs. Oh, he was tracking a rabbit. He had his gun, and he was going to try and shoot the rabbit so they could have some meat for dinner. And the horse runs off, and they kind of get separated. The daughter finds her way back to the farm. The father's like, "Where's your brother?" She goes, "I don't know. We got separated." And then it kind of shows him running into where the witch lives in the woods, I guess. There's just like this little hut, and I guess the witch comes out kind of dancing in front of him. Kind of looks more like a gypsy than a witch. But she's doing like a seductive dance, and he kind of moves closer to her, and she starts kissing him. And then it cuts away from that. So I guess the witch was playing on his adolescence, puberty kicking in. So a couple days later, they find the daughter's getting ready to leave because the mother doesn't want her around anymore. And she's like, "Well, take her back to the village and maybe sell her to a family, let her work for another family for some money." And the daughter's like, "Screw this, I'm going to leave." And as she's leaving, she finds her brother kind of wandering back into their homestead. So she calls out to her father, and they bring him inside, and they find out that he's been bewitched, or at least they think he's just got a fever, and he's just kind of muttering stuff. So of course the mother starts trying to point the finger at the daughter as being a witch, and the daughter's like, "I'm no witch," and they kind of have it out. And then the younger daughter says something about, "She is a witch. She told me that she was a witch down by the lake." And she's like, "You told me you were a witch down by the lake, and you consort with the devil in the ram out in the barn." And so then there's like the parents are kind of questioning which one of you is actually a witch and blah blah blah. And so then the brother ends up dying of the fever, and the father throws the remaining children into the barn with the ram and boards them in. And at some point in the night, something comes crashing into the barn, and the two youngest children, the twins, are sitting there kind of staring at it, trying to figure out what it is. And it turns around, and you see this ugly witch face. And then it cuts to like earlier the next morning, and the eldest daughter's like laying outside of the barn that's been destroyed, and the two twins are gone. So then the dad's like, "What happened?" She's like, "I don't know. Something came in the night and took them." And then he starts accusing her of being a witch, so now he's kind of turned on her. And at that point, oh yeah, I was trying to think of what happened to him because I knew something happened to him. So as he's accusing her of being a witch, she's kind of confronting him about, you took us out of the community, and you're not able to raise a farm, you're not able to hunt, you're not able to do anything. And he's kind of going at her, and then I guess the ram had gotten loose because the ram didn't die when whatever witch crashed into the barn. So the ram comes charging at the dad when he's not looking, and like shatters his ribs and everything. He's like coughing up blood and everything, and then hits him again, and he goes flying into like a wood pile, and the wood pile collapses on him. So he's dead. So then the daughter goes into the house, and the mother's still like nutcase, and she's like, "You're a witch, you know, you've killed all your brothers and sisters and your father, and now you're come to kill me." And she's like, "Mom, no, you know, we need to get out of here. We need to go back to the community and get away from all this." And the mother attacks her, and she ends up finding a knife on the floor and accidentally stabs the mother in self-defense. So then she's the only one left on the whole farm, and she kind of wanders off into the woods and sees a coven of witches like dancing around a fire naked. So she sheds her clothes, walks off towards the fire, and starts dancing with them, and credits. Yeah, so pretty much I just told you the entire movie, and as you can see, it was pointless. I don't even know. For a movie called The Witch, there's barely a witch in it, unless you count the little girl who becomes the witch at the end. But the overall witch... And then there's like a whole coven of them out in the woods, but we only ever saw one attacking this family. And why was she attacking this family other than they wandered into the woods? There's just no story here. It's just like, hey, here's this colonial guy and his kids, and we're going to play on the stereotypes of they didn't understand things back then, and they all end up dying, and the one becomes a witch. Okay. Why are people saying this movie's good? Okay, so as far as a star rating on this, I'm honestly going to have to give this a 1. I want to give it a little bit higher, just because I wasn't bored watching it, because I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on most of the time. I was like, okay, when's this going to tie together? What's going to happen? You know, explain this, and just the explanation never came. Had it had some type of tie together, you know, I might have been able to give it a little bit higher, but yeah, overall this is just a 1. Probably should rank it lower, but anyway, not much more to say about it other than that. If you're one of those people that thought it was good, please, there's a comment section down below. Tell me why you thought it was good. Maybe I'm missing something. Otherwise, yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, maybe avoid this one. Not even sure if it's worth the $1 on Redbox when it comes out. Yeah, so not much else to say about it than that. That's it for this episode. Might go see something else tomorrow. We're coming up on the end of the month, and there's one movie I want to get in for the end of the month. Not sure if I'm going to be able to, because starting to overspend a little bit again, so I'm thinking about waiting until payday, which will be this Friday, and then kind of start seeing movies again, because I'm down to, I think, 4 or 5 more to fully catch up on my list, and that was stuff that I haven't seen since January. Actually, most of the January stuff, except for one movie I'm caught up with, and February, I think there's 3, and then whatever came out in March, I think there's like 2 or 3. So yeah, I'm wrapping up, catching up on my list, but I'm not sure what the next one will be. I have an idea of which one I want to go see. It's just a matter of if I'll be able to get to it before the end of the month. If not, you'll see it in start of April, along with some other stuff I got coming up. Not sure what, but some stuff. Actually, I do know what. I just want to leave you in suspense, so stay tuned. Other than that, yeah, like I said, that's it for this episode. I'm just kind of rambling now. So remember to like, comment, rate, subscribe, and share the video. Links and stuff are in the description. You can follow me on all the social medias, or most of them anyway, whatever's linked down there or up here. So yeah, that's it for The Witch. So until next time, again, as always, thanks for watching, and we will see you after the credits.